Hello guys, I'm back. And where the hell am I? Well, I'm in this game called Dimension Duels X. And if any of you are wondering, I mean it's pretty obvious. Yes, this is a game based off the card game Yu-Gi-Oh! And well, I mean it's essentially Yu-Gi-Oh! In a nutshell. And the little fun fact, when I was just when I was in my younger years, not too young, but I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime, and in my opinion, I think it's pretty good. Look, sorry about that. I was doing something. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was growing up, maybe I was like about I don't remember, but I remember watching the anime Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was pretty good. I've only watched the original show. I didn't watch any of the other shows. I hope I can, because I really do love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I decided, you know what? Why don't I try out the card game myself? And I realized, oh wait, fun isn't the thing in this game. It doesn't exist. Just like in Warhammer, fun and happiness don't exist. The only thing that exists is your soul being crushed by very powerful cards that want to destroy your soul. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship with Yu-Gi-Oh! I genuinely do love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I do like the card game, but it can be so bullshit sometimes. It's just like, why do you even play the game anymore? Are you a sadistic masochist? And to my reply is, maybe. So, but anyway, rant aside, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a little tutorial because I realized that probably on YouTube, there may be a lot of tutorials on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But here in the Roblox, when you get in. What do any of these buttons mean? What is this? What does this do? What is this? What is this? What is any of this? Ah! Don't worry. Don't panic. This is a tutorial on all the buttons in this game. I think maybe. Well, the most important ones. Anyway, all things aside, I'm going to try and explain to my best possible ability of what all the buttons do in this game. Because there are certain actions that require buttons. Even though you could probably just do it through manually. But apparently, from what I've learned, some people don't like that and think you're automatically cheating and then you should be berated off the face of the earth. Anyway, let's get straight into the tutorial. Will this be a good tutorial? Probably not. There's probably a lot more qualified people other than me who's probably going to do this. So if you're expecting a high quality tutorial, you found the wrong video. But let's just get started. So let's start off with the first basic button is the forfeit button. When you lose or when you're seeing a player obviously cheat and they're not going to change anything, and you just decide, you know what, fuck them. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to play against you. Go fuck yourself and everything you stand for. I may be a bit salty, but that's honestly justified because you'd be surprised how many people actually cheat in this game. It's not fun. If you see a cheater, just ignore them. They will not get any help. They probably won't never learn. Anyway, that's that button. That's self-explanatory. Now, why am I listing it off? Is you're probably wondering, but that's pretty obvious why you're listing that. Well, it's because I want to get my point across to make sure no one forgets. Is that good, class? Good, okay, let's continue. You don't need to worry about this button, because, well, it's obvious. Duh. But, it's these buttons on the side some of them, that you need to remember. So, obviously, there's the draw button, pretty self-explanatory. You draw. There's the coin button, where you toss a coin. There's the dice button, where you roll dice. I personally love Dice Dungeon. And then we have the token, which you place a token. Those are the basic buttons that every Yu-Gi-Oh player that's starting in this game will know about. Now, unlike the physical card game where you have these definitions of mill, like mill and other things, in this game, everything is operated by either being manual or by pressing a button. Now, I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, but I've never used any of these terms ever in my life because I don't know what the fuck they mean. So, let's go off the more complicated buttons that you'll encounter in Dimension Duel X. So, first off, what do any of these buttons mean? Well, there's the obvious first one, draw and show, where you draw a card and you show it to your opponent. In a game, if there is a certain card that my opponent has that requires me to draw and show, or maybe both of us, we press this button, we draw the card automatically, and then we show it to our opponent. In this case, I'm showing my opponent that I have Yami. Now, random extra. Now, I didn't know what R&D meant until I pressed it and realized it means random. Now, I don't know why it's abbreviated like this way. This sounds very confusing until you understand the acronym. So, random extra is you take a random card from your extra deck. And little side note for any old Yu-Gi-Oh players that haven't been around for a millennia, get it. The extra deck is a separate deck from the main deck that holds some pretty semi-powerful monsters. Not all monsters are powerful in the extra deck, but there are some pretty good cards that can get you out of a pinch. My personal favorite being Utopia 39. Number 39 Utopia, my bad. I just think it's cool. And it's also got a pretty good effect. But yeah, that's the random extra. And moving on is random hand, where you obviously pull. Actually, let's test it. Okay, yeah. So obviously, you randomly select a card from your hand. In this case, I randomly selected my Torbaz of the Underworld. Now the next part is banish random extra face down. Now FD acronized means face down. Now there are very, very few cards that will make you banish your extra deck face down. I don't know why it needs to be face down. I really don't know. But yeah, here we are. So for any Yu-Gi-Oh players that know what banish means, you just banish it to, well, the banished realm. It means, and for any new players that are joining the game, this means that when a card is banished, you can never, ever bring it back into play again, with the exception of a few cards. But don't worry about that part. You're still starting out. Just don't focus on the extreme details. Right back. So, anyway, where we left off. So yes, now we have banish random extra, which that's the opposite. It's you just banish a random extra card from your extra deck without facing down, without putting it face down. That's pretty simple. Same with banish top deck. Now, so what top deck is, basically it's the very, very most card that's going to be next in your draw phase. So, let me show you an example. Boom. I banished a card face down from the top of my deck. And as we can see, instead of being 38, it's now 37. Same with banish top deck. Banished my Stankin security from the top of my deck. So those ones you probably don't need to do too often unless you're running a specific deck. But for new players, don't worry about it too much. Just stick to beginner decks. Because I'm going to be honest, this game can get really complicated with all of its rules and terminology. So please stick to beginner decks until you feel more confident in running other decks and you learned a lot more of the game. That's my piece of advice. Now, next button, shuffle. You know what that button does. Everyone knows what that does. We have reveal. So this button reveals, well, you reveal a card from anything. From the hand, I can reveal something from the hand, reveal something from my deck, I can reveal something from my extra. Now this button doesn't really work in free mode. It only works when you're playing against another person. So yeah, that's how it is. And then we have mill. Now mill, literally you just get rid of I think a random card. I think. So yeah, milled misjudged. So yeah, it's basically the top card in the deck. You just get rid of it when you need to. And I didn't know that was a thing because I always just went and just got rid of it physically from the deck and shuffled it like no problem. Now I think about it, I kind of handicapped myself there, but then realizing that's kind of a bit cheating. I didn't realize that wasn't the thing. I just thought I just randomly just went in there, got rid of the card that they want. So yeah. So yeah, that's my little mini tutorial on the buttons of of uh of Dimension Duel X because I felt like it needed one just in case everyone was confused on what most of the buttons do. So hopefully this tutorial was somewhat helpful. Like I said, there are much more better qualified people than me who could probably do this tutorial way better. So just thought I'd post this out on the YouTubes just in case anyone needed some help. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and see you around until the next video. Peace.